So I'm Craig, and I'm a part of the West Church here in Banchory, and I'm one of the elders, and I'm also the session clerk, which means that I get to do some stuff with our Kirk session, which is the group of people that sort of help to make sure that everything's going well in the church. And one of the things that I love doing in our church is Alpha, and I sort of push that and make sure that we do it every year. And our congregation have really sort of got into it in the last few years. I'm really excited about it. The first time I can remember being involved with Alpha was probably in the spring of 2010. I mean, I'd probably heard about it before then, but we were doing an Alpha course actually up at the Business Centre here in Banchory. And the thing that I find unique about Alpha is that it's sort of talked about that it's not this perfect thing, that it is just a tool that we can use to bring people in to have a conversation. It's such a simple, easy way to have a conversation with people and to allow people to ask any question they want. You know, people say that all the time, don't they, when they sort of feel like they're about to say something that might be a little bit out there. They always say, oh, I've got a silly question, or this might seem like a stupid question. And I love that Alpha makes people feel like there's no stupid question, there's no silly question. And I love that also, as soon as somebody asks that question that they've prefaced with, it might be silly or stupid, is that everyone sort of breathes a sigh of relief because they feel like, oh, I can ask my question, or, oh, I was thinking that as well. And it sort of helps, that vulnerability really helps to open up the conversation. And I think that's probably one of the main things. I just love seeing those conversations happening and them developing out of that little bit that somebody thinks might be stupid or silly. But actually, it's often the thing that sort of cracks the lid on great conversation. Obviously, we've had lots of people come to Alpha in our church. Some people who are from our congregation and some people from outside of the congregation, from the community. And what I found really interesting in the last sort of 2 or 3 years is some of the people from our congregation who have come, I found Alpha to be such a helpful tool in reminding them of some of the basics of their faith. Yeah, and there's this guy who came to Alpha last year, I think it was the year before, and he is a member of our congregation, and I think he just really found Alpha a really useful place to have those conversations that maybe when he had been coming along to church for a while, felt like he was too far in to ask those questions or to open up about some of those things that were on his heart and his mind. And I think he found it really transformative that there was a place where he could do that. And there's another lady actually who is in our congregation who said that it's really reignited her faith and her love of coming to church and being in the congregation. And I just find that amazing as well, that it's not, we obviously want to reach out and we want it to be a tool for evangelizing and bringing people in. But amazing that one of the byproducts of that is it can really bless the congregation as well, so that they can come and experience that and find Jesus again. I think there's probably quite a lot of church leaders who are nervous about something like Alpha, maybe because they don't know it or they don't really understand how to run it or what it might take to do it. And I think if there was somebody in the Church of Scotland or in Scotland who wanted to run Alpha, I'd be saying to them, let's have a coffee, let's chat, and I'll just explain what it's like. It doesn't have to be big and complicated. You can do Alpha in your house, you can do it in the church building. But really what they probably want to hear is the bit of having that conversation with someone about Jesus and how the tool can help them to do that. If they're nervous about starting that conversation themselves, how Alpha can help be the bit in the middle to start those conversations. And that it's not hard, it's not difficult. It does take effort to run an Alpha course. But when you see what happens during and after an Alpha course with some of the people who come along, you'll never stop doing it. You'll never want to not do it. You'll never want to not want to be in a group or a conversation with them. It's just so exciting to do it. I would happily say that to any church leader over a coffee to encourage them to do it, help them do it. I think it's amazing.